the meantime, though, we finally get what looks to be a new stage. Sammy, finally on there. We got Josiah versus Treyvon. Treyvon on the Dragunov, Josiah on the Jack 8.
Oh, what a sidestep launch. Good way to start this one off as we're already to the wall and tries to match with the heat. Doesn't get the full combo, but does his best to turn it into the Oki right before the dirty double evens it up.
All right, we're making a little bit of noise here. We're going to go all, not quite to the wall in there, but caught Treyvon trying to stand up from the duck on the right again and just goes in, check those kneecaps, do a little reflex checking.
I'm going to say it again. Combo drops give your opponent the opportunity to make a full comeback, and that's what we saw right there. Josiah, though, gets another hit to start with the 1+2 round opener, and looking good so far.
And we already see, like, as soon as Treyvon starts to get anything started on there, we see the bubble popping out there, gets the got a little bit of that gamma charge on display early on here, but we're going to go right back into it. Goes in for the 3 option here. This time the side switch on there for Treyvon does some work.
Yeah, doesn't get the full pickup off of that one. It did go on the back, so it could have gotten an extension, but puts him into the dirt, tries to close it out, does so very nicely there from Josiah, who goes up 2.
Feeling Josiah feeling themselves a little bit, trying to go for the big launch early on here. Does get the back hit on there afterwards. Just going to go right into the wall, get the shoulder tackle. Are we tagging it? No, we are not.
Yeah, no tech, no just frame. It is hard, but it's giving Josiah a great lead, especially after the Oki and the rampant offense taking the first one.
Yo, Josiah, are you trying to go for an 80% speed run? Is that what I'm seeing here? This is the wrong category. This is the fight category. Right here. Looking good, though. Looking good all the way through.
Yeah, look good so far. Just a lot of really strong Oki, and we've seen a lot of that development in terms of a Jack play style, just being really persistent on the offense once they get the opponent to the wall. So that's been good stuff. However, we did see a couple of good hits on the side of Treyvon. Just needs to find that opportunity to get that hit, create some space afterwards, and use that lead against their opponent, because they just never really got an opportunity after that first launch to get their offense going themselves.
Yeah, like anytime that they would get like more than one hit, we got the first block and tried to go in for a running 3, and at that part we was like, okay, it's about the bubble. We're going to get in it. But we got Treyvon with the character switch on here. We got the armor king coming out here. I want to know what Treyvon has here that the Dragunov did not.
Yeah, not sure, honestly.
Okay. We are dancing. We are dancing right now. Get the big Atlas Hammer launch on there, but you know what? We're going in for these big swings regardless.
Yeah, Treyvon's just getting caught on every extra step here. Just every opportunity that he feels like he can press a button, Josiah finds that hit, and the AK hasn't showed us why it's picked just yet.
Oh, we're going for it again. Familiar thing that we saw from last time, but we're going to with the block from Treyvon. We're getting like train a little bit of back blows, but we catch Treyvon in the air, and we're keeping down in the ground as we get closer and closer to that breakable balcony.
Yeah, Josiah's definitely just playing the player at this point. He's just going to keep doing these 1+2s because he's not losing rounds just yet, and he knows it can kind of start pissing some players off and might be getting into Treyvon's head.
If it ain't broke, you know what the rest of it that is on there. We do get a couple of nice side hits in there from Treyvon, but we're back into what we were seeing quite again. Josiah is in the range territory. Are we going to tech that this time? No, well, actually, we do at that point here. We're going to go ahead with the follow-up on there, but we get the launch from Treyvon. Do get that first round, that first Scantron dot on their side.
Yeah, finally something there, and definitely the thing you want to see. Build some offense, or build some confidence, I should say, going on to this one, and that will help for sure the counter carrying to the wall.
Catch Treyvon trying to do the sidestep with the low.
Nice. Doesn't commit to the full string there, though. But has the positioning. This has been way better from Treyvon and leads him into a space trap. Very nice.
It calls out the 10-frame heat smash. Trying to find that moment, but it's going to be Treyvon with the heat smash of their own, trying to get anything back on there. Josiah went in for that low one more time, trying to go for the things that have been working of old, and it's like there's been a little bit of a change here. We do get the sidewall. Sidewall save lives, and we'll get the round for Treyvon after that punish.
Saves his life for sure. Goes for the Atlas Hammer again. Doesn't get the punish. But side switches himself. Treyvon has an opportunity here.
Okay, breaks the Shining Wizard. You're checking with the 4 follow-up on there afterwards, but we're going to go in. We in prime position for that balcony break, and we're being a little bit more patient. We're blocking those lows and really calling out Treyvon where it counts.
Yeah, fought off the wall really well there. Treyvon did have the positional advantage, but wasn't able to make anything of it. Josiah with the armor, able to close it out, and needs one more to move on.
All right, we got the follow-up crouch throw on there afterwards. Try to go in for another one. Breaks the one afterwards, but no, we're sitting down into the dirt. And you know what? We haven't gone far enough. We need to get 6 feet under. Bring you back up in the air. Make sure you're all good and buried on there afterwards. It is going to be Josiah moving on.
Yeah. Missed I think just caught up in the pace a little bit. Josiah definitely seems like that type of player where he wants you to get overwhelmed by everything that he's doing, and that way he can get away with some extra stuff. And definitely a strategy that you can implement into your Tekken gameplay. It happens at the highest levels as well, with just different characters and different play styles. So just worked out for them in the end. We're gonna move on.
Yeah, shout out to Josiah moving on in that bracket. I believe that was to get into top 48, if I recall correctly. Exclamation point bracket, if you want to check that out yourself on here. Josiah is one of those players who comes from the Virginia area, comes down to our locals occasionally on there. So definitely have to face that Jack every so often in tournament, especially when they come out to knocks out and beyond. So good seeing them like play in some of these online tournaments and go from there.